19-047 is a request to receive and file a presentation regarding the PACVB 2019 Outlook.
Welcome to Mr. Welch. Which
presentation tonight?
Okay.
We're on. And thank you, Mr. Manager. I promise I'll keep this under 10 minutes. I'd like to start off tonight showing you a commercial that we run in the Peoria area as well as in areas outside Peoria. Here we go. Whoops. We're going to go. There we go.
For the dreamers, the planners, thrill seekers, and chill seekers. For the adventurous, the curious, the creative, and the passionate. For the young and the young at heart. For her, for him, for everyone.
That, of course, was created in 2018 and again aired in the Peoria area as well as outside the area to try to entice leisure visitors to come to the Peoria area. I will blow through these slides pretty quickly because the presentation is in your packet and all of the backup documentation is there as well. In 2018, we purchased marketing, which was valued at over $400,000 for the City of Peoria. Some of that was digital, some in print, so a wide variety, but it was to market to leisure visitors, sporting events, and meetings. I have our Director of Sales here, Joni Staley. I'm going to talk for a minute here about the sales production that we did in 2018 and for the future. These are the number of events that we sent business opportunities to hotels, Civic Center, Louisville Slugger, and other venues in Peoria. 431,000 potential people that could come in for those events. Actual Peoria Civic Center usage days in 2018 was 108, and we have 179 that are contracted for the future as of this speak. This is in business that's still in the pipeline. In other words, it's leads that are out to the venues and the hotels, or it is bids that are out to the clients. Economic impact, and I'll let you look at those slides at your leisure, but we also generated $600,000 in local taxes from the events that were produced in 2018. We also do servicing. This is to keep the people, the clients here, encourage their return. We have a dynamic servicing department that provides all sorts of things such as transportation, gifts to the clients' hotel rooms, just a wide variety of things, of services. We also purchase within the City of Peoria. We spent $160,000 in things and services that we purchased from Peoria businesses. And this is where I'm going for the next few minutes. This is what we have planned for the future for 2019. We're planning a restaurant week. You've probably been to other cities that have restaurant week where they will have a fixed price menu that includes a 3-course or maybe 4-course dinner. So that's in the works to plan for that probably in the latter half of the year. We will have a meeting with area restaurants to find out what their biggest time period is so that we make sure that we hit their needs. A mobile passport, it's actually a new digital platform. It's called Bandwango. Fancy name for the ability for our visitors and our guests to be able to get coupons and discounts and deals to do itineraries, a mobile passport program, so that also ways that the convention attendees can show their name badge at a restaurant or a retailer and get a discount. We attend a travel media showcase. It's a convention of travel writers, journalists that write about travel. And we are planning to bring several of those in the second and third quarter to showcase the Peoria to them, and they will then go back and write articles which are published not only in print but also digitally. The Community Pride, really anxious to start this and following up on what the mayor was talking about in the State of the City address this last week. We actually were thinking about doing that before the State of the City, but this is a series of commercials that will be aired locally about the exciting things that are happening and the exciting things that we have to do in the Peoria area for the residents to be able to feel better about living in Peoria and to be able to take advantage of some of those great attractions. The HR Recruiting Toolkit, this is something that we partnered with the EDC, the Chamber of Commerce, the CEO Council. We've have 2 meetings. One was this morning, where we have area employers and their human resource professionals that come in and see what we've got to offer them to be able to recruit employees to the Peoria area. So you probably saw our video series. I forwarded it to you last night. But we did a video series with the CEO Council, the city, and several area employers, which was geared towards attracting higher level recruits and their trailing spouses. So if you haven't had a chance to look at that email I sent last night, please do. They're really top-notch videos. And there, as I said, one of those meetings was held today. We had an outstanding attendance from area employers, and we've got another one coming up in March, which will be at the Gateway Building. We'll do another new commercial this year, so similar to the one that you saw, but it'll be different themed. We're hoping to do that in the 3rd quarter, and then our website is about 5 years old, which is a lifetime for a website. So we'll be redoing that in the latter half of this year and the first half of 2020. So with that, Mr. Manager, how did I do? All right. Any questions?
Any questions for Mr. Welch? I have Councilmember Jensen.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. How are you, Mr. Welch?
I'm wonderful, thank you.
Came up with you in the elevator tonight. Just a couple questions so that I guess citizens understand. When you say the value, the marketing value on your first slide is $400,000. Can you explain how you determine that figure?
That's the retail value of the advertisements and the digital marketing that we place. Okay, so Carrie Allen, our Vice President of Marketing and Operations, does a great job of negotiating those down. So that's not our actual spend, but that's the retail value of those ads. And those might be placed here in Peoria, radio and TV. It would be placed in the Chicago suburbs, St. Louis suburbs, other areas that we target. We also do marketing to sports events and groups where we might do targeting a particular convention and those attendees. So they're served up an ad on their phone when they walk into the convention center about Peoria.
Okay, so when you say value, that's how much the value is of all the advertisement that your organization does?
For Peoria alone.
Got it. Okay. I just want to make sure. I thought maybe it was the amount of money that it brings in.
No.
And for that, on that realm, I guess, when you say estimated local taxes generated, that's from all the events that you bring in, or you bring in with the Civic Center?
Both.
Okay,
we work in great partnership with the Civic Center, not only bringing new events but repeat events back. You were probably aware that the Illinois Music Educators was just here, 11,600 people. Through the great service that the Civic Center provides, as well as our servicing staff and the relationship that we personally have with the clients, we just got a 5-year extension on that contract.
Okay, so the $29 million economic impact includes all events that are not just Peoria Area Convention and Visitor Bureau.
Those are
events.
boiled down to be just the events in Peoria.
But they're also sometimes recruited by the Civic Center, correct?
The Civic Center, and again, we work very closely hand in hand with them. We attend trade shows together. We go on sales missions together. So we look at that as a partnership instead of a us versus them. So it's a combined effort between them and us. It's events that we touch and we service and we help get secured for Peoria and for Peoria hotels.
Okay, thank you.
Councilmember Ruckriegel.
Thank you, Mayor. By the way, congratulations on the 5-year renewal of that. If memory serves me right, that is the largest convention that we actually have in Peoria, and the history of them has been extremely satisfied with coming to Peoria.
Yes, they love Peoria.
Yes. And you talked about the dollar impact. Could you maybe give us a little, I guess, idea of the number of jobs, either in hospitality, retail, entertainment, in some way, form, or fashion that is connected to the brand that you are bringing and to Peoria.
We estimate that there are about 5,000 jobs tied to hospitality in the Peoria area. So restaurants, hotels, anything and everything to do with hospitality. About 5,000 jobs, and those range all the way from entry-level jobs all the way up to six-figure jobs. It's the wide range.
Can you talk a little bit, I guess, on the pre-planning, because the work that you're doing now you talked about the future events. What's the average time out on a booking? How does that kind of work? Can you give us a little idea of that future thought process?
It's really soup to nuts. We might attract a sporting event that might come in later in 2019 or in early 2020. That would be the earliest. A lot of the conventions that we're dealing with are looking out to 2022, 2023, 2024 at this point in time. So there's a big lead time.
Thank you. Thank you for all the work you do.
Just a couple quick things. I'm not seeing any more lights up here, and I know you trying to keep our timeline here, Mr. Welch, but along the lines of Councilman Ruckregel's questions on timing, we know a lot of people maybe not realize it, but when a lot of these conventions are looking at coming here, they're booked 2, 3, 4 years out. One of the most important parts about us marketing our city, and especially our civic center with all the convention space and everything else, is the importance of hotel rooms. So I'm kind of floating this one to you because we get a lot of questions in terms of our largest hotel in downtown Peoria. So maybe just speak for a couple of minutes about how important that hotel is to you and the job that you do, and how nice it will be when they do come online to help us to book those big conventions and events down the road.
Speaking about the Sheraton Four Points that's a couple of blocks down the street, that hotel is very, very important to us for the future. We struggle on a regular basis with the events that we've had coming in here. We talked about Illinois music educators. They need that hotel. They need the meeting space. They need there's 323 rooms in that hotel. I believe they had reserved 250 for this last year. So moving them to other hotels in the area, and unfortunately there's not enough in the city of Peoria, so we do have to move them to other hotels in the area, is damaging for the client. It's costly for the client. And it's going to be so much better when we have that open and be able to service the Civic Center needs as well as the business needs and the leisure tour travelers.
Thank you. And that wasn't a question to be negative. It's to send a message to the ownership of the Sheraton Four Points that we're really anxious for them to get up and rolling, hopefully yet this spring, summer. And the second one is not necessarily to pull any specific group out, because there's so many good ones that you guys are working with. But one of the most exciting things that's happened on our riverfront in the last couple of years is this the live music series. It's Tailgates and Tallboys. Can you just speak a little bit to what that's done to really open a lot of people's eyes to the entertainment along our riverfront?
Absolutely. That's been a great addition to the city of Peoria and to the area. Inked Entertainment has done a phenomenal job of bringing great entertainment to that area. It brings a lot of out-of-town visitors. You might not think so, but we've been handling the hotel reservations for the Inked Entertainment events on the riverfront, and it's amazing to see how far people are coming. I'm hearing some of the statistics saying that we're getting as many as 60% of the people attending those concerts that are coming outside a 50-mile radius. So if they're coming from outside a 50-mile radius, good chance they're staying in a hotel here.
Great. Are there any other questions for Mr. Welch tonight? I'm seeing none. Thank you very much for the update.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for bringing a lot of people into our community. We have a motion to receive and file. Councilman Sear, seconded by Councilman Ruckregel. Please cast your ballots. The motion passes unanimously.